If bulls fail to secure this middle line of Bollinger Bands, then we might see price to reach near this zone here. Good morning traders, welcome back to the channel, and we're back with Dogecoin, this time slightly on a weekly time frame and then on a daily time frame as well. So straight to the point, after reaching this 100 EMA on a weekly time frame, price had a really nice correctional movement to the lower zones, meaning a nice movement to this middle line of Bollinger Bands. After reaching this zone here, price got of course pushed back, so bulls secured first attempt here, which is this attempt here, was secured. It went for like bullish movement, again a correction movement to like fill these fair value gap zones which were left near this zone here, and then again another attempt to break down from this middle line of Bollinger Bands. Now what's interesting since then is if we zoom in, we see that 2 next weeks, meaning the last week and this week as well, we see that price was attempting to break out, meaning to secure this zone fully, but it is failing slightly. So with each touch, basically we are seeing a further movement and the pressure from bears. And now going on a daily time frame, so daily time frame, we see that this 200 EMA has been basically like the barrier for this Dogecoin here on a daily time frame. So after having this massive dump, as we talked earlier, which touched the middle line of Bollinger Bands, we had a bounce, then we had another touch, we had another bounce on a daily time frame, of course. Now we're talking, and now since this touch here, we went straight down back to the lower sides, touching this 200 EMA, and now basically bouncing inside this 100 and 200 EMA, also showing us that the pressure from bears is once more pretty high. So with that being said, zooming out, we see 2 points of interest for us, which are upper zone and the lower resistance. Not lower resistance, but lower support and upper resistance. So where is this zone here? Let's go. Now this zone is first point of interest for us, which is acting as pretty high support zone, and this zone is acting for us as a pretty high resistance zone. So 2 major zones which we are going to be looking at. And as you can see, currently price is just at the middle of those 2 zones, which is basically a neutral zone for the Dogecoin as of now, which means that any entry from this zone is not so like profitable or doesn't have like major confirmations as of now. But we are waiting for 2 potential setups here, which are going to be something like this. So taking a brush, and the first one is the bullish scenario, which means that breaking again this 100 EMA, securing this 100 EMA, going for upper zones here. It's more correctional, and this zone would be like the last confirmation for potential good entry towards this upper zone here. So this zone here, if we secure this zone, as this is acting like the last resistance until we reach this resistance here, which means if we see any kind of breakout attempts from this 100 EMA, then we most likely will see a touch towards this zone. Now let's take a look at the percentage wise. The first would be 11.86%, and the second one would be basically the same, 12.77%. Now going for the bearish scenario, which means breaking this 200 EMA and securing fully. Now as you can see, we haven't actually like secured the price below this 200 EMA. Yes, we had a close attempts here, but yet they all failed. But yet again, all the time price was trying to secure and secure and secure. Now we are waiting for this kind of moment, meaning for a bearish scenario, to go break down, fully secure price below this 200 EMA, go for a smaller retest maybe. So the retest might happen or might not happen this time, because once we see a close below this 200 EMA, there is a chance of seeing like just straight downward movement to this support zone. Meaning that if we see a breakdown, of course maybe a correction movement and a movement, of course, without any stops towards this major zone, which would be a potential good entry maybe somewhere here if price closes anywhere near this zone. Meaning, let's see, 22.12% of market price movement, which is pretty high for the Dogecoin as well. So with that being said, as of now, price is just at a neutral basis, bouncing from one side to another, trying to establish either it wants to go for this major resistance zone or the major support zone. But without any hesitation, we are still waiting for like any good setups to occur, and once we see a good confirmation from our side, then of course we are going to enter with either a potential bullish movement to upper resistance or a bearish movement towards this support zone. And with that being said, as always, trade smart, trade safe, and see you in the next session.